Under the India 2.0 program, Volkswagen decided to bring their state-of-the-art MQB-AO iron platform to India. The first product we saw on that platform was the Taigun SUV, which has been a success for the brand. The second product is what we are driving today. This is the Virtus sedan. Now, the sedan segment, especially the mid-size sedan segment, has been somewhat stagnant in India, primarily due to the fact that there are not enough choices available. Can the Virtus change that? Will its petrol-only offerings entice customers? We drive it today to find out. When it comes to design, I have to say the Virtus is a particularly good-looking car. You get the big flowing grille, you get these big flowing headlights, you get very tasteful using of chrome, the air dam looks really nice. In fact, there's a nice interplay, especially on the GT version that we are driving today, between black surfaces, the roof, the mirrors, the front air dam, the wheels. You also get red calipers, and the overall lines of the car are really elegant. You get these strong shoulder lines which define the sides of the car, and the rear also has, I love these smoke tail lamps, the black spoiler, and just the overall look looks very balanced. The proportions are absolutely perfect, and the car, I have to say, strikes a very good look on the road. In fact, even the color choices are very interesting. This red is particularly interesting. It also comes in a kurkuma yellow, which was one of my favorite shades in the Taigun SUV, and there's also a great blue. Of course, there are the obvious greys and whites and stuff like that, but some of the color choices very exciting, very new, and of course a new twist to the segment where boring colors are the norm. The Virtus does stand out for its color choices and overall is a very pretty looking design. Now coming to the interiors of the Virtus, and if you're familiar with the Taigun, you'll feel instantly at home here. Most of the control surfaces that you see in the Virtus are shared with the Taigun. So you get a similar steering wheel, you get the multimedia display, you get the digital instrument cluster. What we're driving right now is the 1.5 GT line. So you also get this interior color accent, which really does make the cabin look much better. I think it livens up the cabin. The splash of color really makes it look nice. You also get contrast stitching on the black seats, and overall this cabin of the Virtus has a really good feel to it. The standard equipment count is also pretty high. You get a sunroof, you get 6 airbags, 16-inch alloys, wireless CarPlay. So all of that stuff is covered, and we are driving the Virtus right now in super hot Amritsar. It's already 40 degrees on the temperature display, and the AC works quite well. So that's something to look forward to. Driving wise, the 1.5 litre engine is something we're familiar with. It has cylinder deactivation, which means when you're cruising, it does give you phenomenal fuel efficiency. In fact, my colleagues get up to 17 kilometers to a litre with the 1.5, which is commendable. The DSG, 7-speed DSG also works really well. I find that the drive mode is quite satisfying, but in the sport mode, the gearbox is really responsive. It delivers the right gears to you. You never sort of feel that it's hunting for anything. And while there are paddle shifters, I have not had to use them all day, which can only be a good sign as to how well the gearbox is set up. The suspension also works wonders. If you compare the Virtus to the Honda City, which is probably its biggest rival, well, the suspension is really well tied down. It tackles bad roads very well. High speed stability is not a problem. It does feel like it's on the firm side, which it is, but it's not uncomfortable at all. I think it's a really good mix between drivability and ride comfort. Another aspect where the Virtus improves on the Honda City is in the overall NVH. The amount of road noise and vibrations that come into the cabin are significantly lesser, and it makes you feel quite nice and sort of isolated from the outside world, which is always a good thing. Are there any downsides to the Virtus? Yes, I think the rear view camera's resolution is quite poor. That is something that can definitely be improved upon. There is obviously no diesel option. Volkswagen, the whole group now no longer offers diesel engines in India. So some of you who have a long commute, who do a lot of mileage, are going to be turned off by that, but that's something that you have to deal with. But in fact, you can counter some of that with the fact that the petrol engine has an extra life of 5 years in India, and the 1 litre particularly efficient. The steering also gives you a lot of feedback, and I think is really well set up. It's a car that you'll enjoy driving, you'll enjoy throwing around, and it really responds well to enthusiastic driving. I've also driven the 1.5 automatic that comes with a 6-speed automatic torque converter, and despite having 113 bhp, this is 148 bhp and 250 Nm, that's got 113 bhp, 178 Nm. It doesn't feel slow at all. In fact, it feels more than enough power for most customers. So, in the Virtus, in a nutshell, you get a really good package. You get space, you get a big boot. With the 1.5 especially, you get a pretty efficient fuel engine, and you get a really good driving experience. Can the Virtus transform the sedan sector? I think it can, because it finally offers a new product to Indian customers. It's a very good looking car. It drives very well, and I think it's a very strong contender in the mid-size sedan. And if you're looking for one, this should be one of your first picks.